I'm going to try to put myself into the mind of my parents using technology.
Why?
To like try to bring some like user perspective to.
Oh yeah, completely. It's like, okay, hi everyone. This is another chapter of Tech After 40. And today we're going to talk about cyber security threats. I mean, you know, hacking, scams.
Social engineering.
Yeah, social engineering. I did some research, but I wanted to start talking by my own experience. I mean, when I was a kid, for me, you know, what hacking was like a teenager trying to get into the neighbor and I don't know, something stupid, you know.
Or a Hollywood movie.
Or a Hollywood movie trying to get into NASA, and the thing, it was like, it was just to do it to show that you can. It wasn't like, you know, to steal information, to sell it to governments. It wasn't like that.
Or to sell it to organized crime.
Yeah, it wasn't like that at all. And right now, the money that is being made with hacking, it's insane. Like, completely insane. It's like an industry. You have companies that, everything started with viruses, and companies do, like McAfee or Norton, doing, antivirus. And then those companies, they took also the cyber threat kind of thing also inside their products. And it's like, okay, so let's explain it a little bit more. You have many ways. There are many ways for you to be scammed or hacked or be like many threats.
Now, are we talking, I think there's a lot of different ways that people can do this. They can take your information, right?
Yes.
And potentially steal your identity. I think that's one that is always sort of, you always hear about it in the news, but in many cases it's not even something that, it's not even up to the individual person. It could be like a large corporation, is hacked, and they have the social security numbers of like 30 million people, right? And then suddenly, like, those 30 million identities start popping up in, credit card authorizations.
Yeah, but how someone can get, how someone can steal your identity?
Well, if your identity is controlled by centralized organizations, you don't actually control your identity.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who are you as a person digitally? You are a number. You are your ID. You are maybe a picture, but it's not really. When you fill your information to pay something, no one asks for your picture or for your digital thumb. It's just, give me this number, your name, just your details.
Yeah.
So if someone can have those details, he will be you.
Yeah. And it's not like, in the old days, somebody would walk into the bank wearing a disguise and be like, hey, I'm Leo.
Yeah.
I'm here to withdraw my life savings. And they're going to be like, Leo, that beard doesn't look.
Yeah.
Really? I thought you were taller. Like,
Yeah.
if it's just numbers and it's just like data, okay, sure, it's Leo. He's doing an online transaction. What do I know?
So I made some research.
Okay.
And the number one scam, okay, in computers, it's phishing scams. What's a phishing scam? These are emails or messages that appear to be from a legitimate source, such as a bank or a company, but they're actually from scammers trying to steal your personal information. You know, I'm getting these messages on the phone all the time. It's like, oh, you're like overdraft, you know, like we are bank, I don't know, whatever bank, and I'm like, it's not my bank.
They have no idea.
And they give you a link, you know, just press this link and, you know,
confirm your account
that it's fine.
details.
Someone is trying to steal your...
Yeah.
So they are like playing this game, like we are actually the good guys.
Yeah.
And then you enter on the link and it looks exactly. Imagine that, you know, they are like catching a guy who's like, they are like, we are from Bank of America, and you
That would get
have
my
an
dad.
account,
That would
and
get
you
my dad.
enter there and it looks exactly like, and then you enter with your credentials, and of course you enter right away, and they stole your credentials from your bank. They can right away they can move some money. Probably at a certain point there's gonna be, you know, banks have their own methods, you know, to detect that it's you, and at certain point they're going to ask, but because if there's a movement of money from an IP that not usually it's your IP, they're going to trigger these other methods of security. But it's happening a lot. And you know, an old guy get this message and he gets scared, and he right away put the credentials, and then like, oh, everything is fine, okay. And then I don't know, they stole from him, I don't know, $20,000. It's not insane, but it's like they do this like 20 times a day, and it's insane.
Sometimes they don't even need the credentials. I remember we went on a holiday to Crete, and after getting back to the U.S. within a few days, I get a call from the credit card company asking if I had tried to do a cash advance for $10,000 in like somewhere in West Africa. I think it was like, you know, Burkina Faso or something like that, at a money exchange in Burkina Faso. And I was in Nebraska.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
no,
that wasn't me. They're like, we didn't think so. We're gonna go ahead and like block this and you know, put the money back to your account and do an investigation. But apparently, just from like swiping my credit card in a restaurant.
There are machines that they can actually steal this information from you.
Which is why you give it to them, and then they go and like, what are they're copying your credit card?
Yeah, but they don't even need to take it. There are machines that they can copy a card inside your pocket. They walk next to you, and they scan it. That's why I have this wallet with this thing that it's like anti-scanning. No one can scan these cards inside this thing. If they come out, they are scannable. And that's why I think that credit cards are going to be dead, like really soon. You're not gonna need like a physical card. You don't need a physical card right now, but I mean, they're gonna be a thing of the past because they're not secure.
And I think COVID also accelerated all of this because
completely.
Nobody wanted to handle cards.
Completely. I went abroad and I was surprised that all the businesses that they're used to have, you know, they all, you know, say, now we in
Argentina?
Only cash or whatever. All digital.
These guys.
All digital.
Our sponsors at B Cup used to only accept cash.
Digital. Yeah. All digital right now, but completely all digital. I think there's a law now, so every place needs to have a digital way of paying. Okay, so that's phishing, And I believe that, the way to avoid this is, first of all, don't trust no one. I mean, your bank, if they want to contact you for some reason, they're gonna call you. They're not gonna send you a weird message with a weird link. It's not gonna happen. It's not the way that banks communicate with their clients. Don't click anything that you don't understand. That's one.
But what if you don't even understand that you don't understand? What if you're, some guy in his 70s?
Just don't click. Okay, if you.
That's what I tell my parents. I say, if you get something, just don't open it.
Yeah, whatever it is, don't. That's the first advice. What do you mean if you don't understand that you don't understand? It's like you get something with a link, even if it's a good thing, but you're not sure. And by not sure, I mean 100% sure. You're not sure, don't click it. Don't click it. Ask another person who you think understands more. Go to your technical guy, son, cousin, whatever. But don't click it. That's the first thing. And second, I think that, if you're paying your stuff digitally, and you have these websites that that are the original, just save them in the bookmark. Just save them, and you can compare. You can compare this link with the link you have in the bookmark, and you don't even need to do it. Just go to the bookmark site that you know for sure it's safe, that you saved, and enter there, or call the bank. Call the bank. In the worst case scenario, you call the bank physically. A guy is going to answer you. He will answer your questions.
No guy. Since when does a guy answer you when you call the bank?
Yeah, they answer.
You get like a.
Yeah, you get a machine, but then you can ask for a person. They answer.
Representative.
They answer.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
No.
Representative.
No.
Press to see the menu again. Sorry. And then you're just like, yeah.
Yeah. It's at purpose. It's designed
to save them money.
It's designed for you to hang out.
But this is where design actually really matters. And by design, I mean the web browser, the bank, all these areas of potential vulnerability. They have to be hardened, and it's not up to the user to harden them, because we just have to assume that most people are probably are not equipped or savvy or like up to speed on the latest threats to be able to be safe. So I think the bulk of the responsibility actually lies with those touch points to harden and to be able to detect. So the bank, the credit card company.
Yeah, definitely.
Where it becomes, I think, scary is when you're talking about like a wallet, a crypto wallet, where there is no like third party to try to that if you're swindled, they're gonna get you back the money that you lost or something like that. But then again, people using crypto wallets until now typically are more savvy, you would think. But maybe it's just something about if you have something that with no intermediary and no one to recover your account, or no one to check and see that actually it was a nefarious attempt to access your account.
Oh yeah, and we see those things every day. People losing their crypto. It's your responsibility. But that's one of the things that trade-offs that you are willing to pay for security.
But does it give you security?
Yeah, I mean, more security, I think it's to lose convenience. That's the thing. That's why people don't, for example, passwords are horrible. People are losing them, you don't remember them, you create really bad passwords.
Use the same password for everything.
Yeah, you copy passwords. It's helpful. And you know why? Because are straight connected to humans, and we are the weakest link. We're horrible at it. And But we want convenience. We want something that it's like, okay, that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm in. You don't care about security because you want to remember the password.
But why
If
should it
you're
even
gonna
be?
create a really hard password,
But it
you're
shouldn't
not
be
gonna
about.
remember.
It shouldn't be about something that you know. It should be about like who you are, right? I don't see that, technology has to have this trade-off where, well, either you keep and are responsible for all your keys and for all the stuff, and if you forget that, your stuff is like gone forever, or you have to like rely on some third party to manage everything for you and to reset your account and to detect fraud or detect anything like that. I don't think it has to be one way or the other. I think a lot of like, crypto maxis are very much on the end of like, oh, it's like almost like libertarian, right? The approach, like, oh, I totally manage my own stuff. But reality should be like, you want access to something, it should be able to know that it's you. You shouldn't have to like try to remember like how many passwords ago did I reset this? Do I have to like, okay, how many characters do I have to use to make a new?
Yeah, I mean an ideal world, but there are companies
why can't
right now,
why can't
there
we
are companies
aim for
right
that?
now that are working on it, on security without passwords, and I think that's really interesting. And we can do a completely new chapter just talking about it.
Dude, look at Apple, Apple Pay.
Yeah,
I double click, it sees my face.
yeah, but that's because they have the hardware to support it.
Right.
But they are offering that service to anyone. You can sign up with Face ID on anywhere. If you create right now a web app or whatever, or an iOS app, you can ID with FaceTime.
Yeah.
So that's great, but it's attached to the device. You have an Android phone, we don't, it's a completely different way, and that's the problem. So these companies are giving you these amazing security features.
Dude, they're putting
but
supercomputers
but
in
they
your
are
hand.
attached to their own devices.
Yeah. So it's centralized organizations that are making
Yeah.
the supercomputers
Yeah.
that we
So-
access all this from. So what are we talking about? Decentralized. This thing doesn't occur in a decentralized way,
No.
right? There's decisions that are made.
Yeah.
There's like trade-offs. There's like design. There's engineering.
Yeah. Okay, so just to resume the other one.
Yeah.
The phishing scams. Don't click on anything. Number 2, we have ransomware. You knew about ransomware like years ago?
After watching Mr. Robot.
Well, but that's how many years ago? 2, 3, 2,
Dude, that's like
3,
I think from 2014.
2014. I remember it
8 years ago?
Yeah, it wasn't a thing, when we were kids. I mean, but okay, let's explain what's ransomware. This is a type of malware that encrypts your files and demands a ransom in exchange for the decryption key. It's like you get into your computer and then you see a message. Hi, we encrypt your files. You are not going to have access to your files unless you go to this, you pay this many dollars to this Bitcoin address. Another, yeah, and that's another punch to the crypto guys. I mean, all these bad things happening and getting paid with crypto.
It's in the name, crypto.
Yeah.
Like, crypto.
Crypt.
It's hidden.
Yeah.
It's like secretive, hidden. Like.
Yeah.
Of course. Maybe we need to rebrand crypto and stop calling it crypto.
Yeah, maybe to call it like la 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 la, something really nice. Listen,
Just call it like
it happened to you?
money.
Ransomware? It happened to you?
No, never.
Yeah, for me, never. But I don't gonna say which company, but I worked for a company, and it happened to the company. And you know what they did? They paid, and they keep it silent. They paid. No one said a word. Nothing happened.
Was it a lot?
I think it was an important amount
Millions
of money,
or-
but not that high to. They are always doing this. The ransom guys, they're not stupid, so they're giving numbers that are payable. So if it's a company, it's gonna be bigger, but it's not gonna be like millions, you know, depends the company. But they're gonna be like, okay, let's do this, because the decision should be, let's do this and let's finish with it. Because it's painful. That's why.
But are you sure? Like, do you know that if you pay it, you'll get your files back? Is there some kind of
They
like
do.
certainty?
I heard many cases and they do. It's funny. It's like they have honor. You know, they honor their word.
Come on, they're not savages.
Yeah, oh come on. Yeah, they're good thieves. So they do. Yeah, you pay because if you don't, because if they don't give you the files, people will not pay. Eventually, they're gonna say you're not getting your files anyway, so don't do it. So I think 100% you're getting your files because they want you to pay. They want you to get your files because they want other people to pay. And this is a billion-dollar industry, you know, ransomware.
Yeah.
It's a billion with a B, billion-dollar industry.
Probably billions with an S.
It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
Because you know how to avoid this? You need to, it's like really hard for many companies to do this because you
All
need
it
to
takes-
update your software periodically. You need to be really up to date with software and security, and no one is. And that's why they can do this like so easy. So easy. Any person in
Even
their
hospitals.
home- yeah.
Schools.
Everywhere, it's like you have Windows 10, 8, you're a target.
Dude, Windows. Can we just
Any Windows.
can we take a moment and reflect on how shitty Microsoft products are? Can we just acknowledge that?
Well, I don't want to say shitty because I knew, you know, I had,
Full of vulnerabilities,
Yeah.
I should say.
yeah, completely. I think they're working on it, but I think that it's impossible to make it 100% safe. It's impossible. You know why? Because every 4 years or so, they're changing completely the whole software, you know, the whole operative system. And, you know, you bring new features, and with new features, you bring new holes.
Dude, and you know why? Because that's driven by marketing.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna launch Windows
of course.
17.
Yeah.
It's like 5G. You know, it's just branding and like marketing and like, okay, now we're gonna like all over the web. It's gonna be, you know, awareness about the latest version of Windows.
Yeah.
And that whole like, why everything should be more like incremental, I think. And updates should be just continuous, not like
Yeah.
no, you gotta like download and like install this entirely new thing that's
Yeah, but they're doing it. If you have Windows, you have updates all the time.
all right. So
You
why
have
can't those
security
updates
updates.
just sort of like why launch like a new thing just incrementally?
You have security updates, but they're not keeping up with all the malware and all the holes. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Hi, Leo here. I just, while editing the video, noticed that, and the audio, I noticed that after 30 minutes, the video ends abruptly, and I wanted to explain a little bit what happened. It's the cameras, when you record on 4K, after 30 minutes the video ends, and that's what happened here. I don't know why. I thought that this time it's not gonna happen. I don't know what I was thinking about it, but we lost like 30 minutes of footage. It's not gonna happen next time. I just wanted to explain to everyone what happened. So I'm sorry, and see you next time.